Hello everyone in the Sunny Hill family, it's us again. I don't know if that's exciting or not for you, but this week we're looking at the healing miracles and we've moved on to one of Susie's, if not actually Susie's, absolute favourite.
One of my favourites for sure. So it's Luke 8 verses 43 through to 48, and it is about the woman who was bleeding for 12 years and receives healing from Jesus. So yeah, again, there's loads I love about this passage. First of all, she's obviously been suffering for a long time, and that meant she was kind of like an outcast, considered unclean by the community. So anywhere she went, she would make other people unclean. So it was a place of kind of real isolation and rejection that she was living in. This constant feeling of just, kind of low and on her own and not finding, she's spent loads of money on doctors, no one can cure her. So she's living with this day in and day out, this constant pain and suffering that she's going through. Now, she takes a bold step in this by going into the crowd. And again, because she was bleeding and considered unclean, she's not supposed to be in public or be around people, but she goes and she kind of does it really sly, on the ground or behind Jesus, and just kind of slips through and gets to him, knowing, so she's got this faith and belief that she's going to find healing from him, and she does immediately. And Jesus, he knows it, he knows this is what's happened, he knows who she is, obviously, and he turns around and he doesn't just let it go, doesn't just let her walk away with just the physical healing, because he says something's happened, someone has touched me, and he wants her to be acknowledged in this moment. And she comes up and she's trembling because in their law, she's now made Jesus unclean by touching him because she's a bleeding woman, and probably everyone in that crowd. So everyone will be like rebuking her for that. So she comes trembling, but knowing that she's healed, at Jesus's feet, and throws herself again at his feet. And and this is the beautiful thing, because Jesus in that moment, he's so gentle with her, loving, and he affirms her. He doesn't just say you're healed, but he's like, your faith has made you well, go in peace. And the bit, it's like, my daughter. So he acknowledges her in society as his daughter. And I just think that is just the most beautiful thing. She comes with, full of faith, but also so much fear and so much loneliness and depression and anxiety and all this suffering that she's been going through. And Jesus heals her physically, but also heals her emotionally, heals her standing in society, makes, in front of the whole crowd, says, daughter, go in peace. Your faith has made you well. That is just incredible, the way he just completely, this like a holistic healing that he's given to her. That she walks away with a complete healing. It's not just a partial healing of just the physical need, but actually he's met so much more for her in that moment. All of that.
Yeah, I love it too. And we don't need to dig too much more into it. I think Susie explained it really well. The bit I love is just, her faith is incredible, but it's also not huge. It's enough just to touch the hem of his garment type faith. There's a guy called, he was Lord Simpson or something. He invented chloroform, and he was dying, and his friend said to him, don't worry, you'll soon be resting on Jesus's bosom. And one of his last words was, I don't know about his bosom, but I think I'll be able to hold the hem of his garment. And sometimes that small amount of faith, like we know sometimes we're just not good enough, but that faith to say, it's what Jesus does. It's just enough to touch him a little bit, and he will make me, well, as Susie said very eloquently, completely well. Not just heal me, which would be great, but completely well, and have a standing way above anything that this lady had ever experienced before in society and in her spiritual life. Incredible. I love this one as well. Lovely to be with you this morning. God willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless.